So I don't know how y'all are going to take this question, and you may be mad, but is it sometimes okay for a man to be a deadbeat dad? Let's discuss. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Beasley here. Hope you all are staying cool, calm, and collected out there. So I'm up late. I just took my braids out like Jada did and set it off. And I had a thought. And I was thinking about this recent episode of Insecure that's centered around Lawrence. Now, y'all, back in the day, once upon a time, not long ago, I used to do reviews on the Insecure show. And one thing that I always loathed was episodes where they would center around Lawrence. Now, Lawrence is a main character, but whenever he gets his own episodes, I always just like roll my eyes and smack my teeth. But I just sit there and take it like a good housewife because, you know, this is what Issa Rae is going to be serving to us for the week. But this episode, even though to me it was a little boring, not going to lie to you, it was very thought-provoking. And to my surprise, this episode actually had me on Lawrence's side. So just to give you guys a little recap, if you don't watch the show or you didn't watch the last season, Lawrence ended up getting Condola oil pregnant, and you know, them two, they weren't together because Lawrence wanted to make amends with Issa's character. But at the end of that episode, Issa decided to avoid all that BS with a 10-foot pole, and Lawrence went on his way, and out of nowhere, strike number one, this man literally finds out while he's on a date with somebody else that his baby has arrived. Like, she had the baby. And I understand that, like, I mean, they should have gave us more context. That's the problem with Insecure. They rarely ever give us context to anything. We kind of have to, like, piece. It's like she makes the show to where we have to talk about it afterwards and dissect it. And that's really what has made Insecure very popular. But there was no context to if he knew anybody else in the family or if anybody else had his number that could call him and let him know that, like, oh my God, canola oil's going into labor. Like, oh my God. But it just didn't happen like that. And when he got to the delivery room, like, this man, strike number two, finds out they already named him, gave him an ugly ass name, calling him Mustafa. Might as well have named him Mufasa Ali, but it is what it is. At least they gave him the courtesy and let them have Lawrence's last name. But then, you know, as the episode goes on and on, Lawrence, he tries to be there for the baby. Now, Lawrence, for the most part, is full of it. But unlike a lot of deadbeat dads, he really tried to be there for that baby from the very beginning. That way, his presence is felt throughout that whole entire kid's life. Like, he has a father figure in his life, an actual father. But as the episode goes on and on, Condolences has an issue with him taking the initiative. Mind you, this man lives all the way in San Francisco, and Condolences lives in Los Angeles. And he flies back and forth every single weekend to be a part of the baby's life. But she doesn't let him have any say-so in anything. She doesn't let him do anything. She doesn't notify him about anything with the baby, and she doesn't ever, like, let him include his opinion on how the baby is being raised, because to her, he's a part-time dad, but really, he's a part-time dad because you made him a part-time dad. Off topic, there was a scene where they have a mutual friend from Tiffany. Like, Tiffany's actually Issa's friend. Well, friend of me, to be honest with you. But Tiffany and, I found it weird that Issa and Molly were not at Tiffany's baby's first birthday or second birthday, whatever birthday it was. They weren't present. I guess that was just lazy writing because they didn't want to write that into the scene. They wanted to focus more on canola oil and Lawrence's issues that they have with each other. But ultimately, it's like a tug of war back and forth of canola oil taking over all of the responsibilities. Much to her dismay, because the homegirl is tired. And in my opinion, no shade to you women out there, but I don't understand why you would want to have kids by yourself, and on top of that, either push the man away or not have the man involved at all. Like, I understand, like, you're gonna have a lot of people have a biological clock and they want to have their kids at a certain time, but at the same time, if the man is trying to be there, let the man be there. Like, you can't do it on your own. You don't want to do that shit on your own. This is no shade to all the single mothers out there that did it on their own and have successful kids that are in college and thriving today. That's no shade to y'all. A lot of y'all didn't have a choice. But I will say, if you have the choice to do it with somebody, then do it with somebody. Like, you can't raise a child on your own. It takes a village, and a lot of that responsibility, like your aunts and your sisters and all of them, they don't want to be involved in that 100%. They want the man around, because a child needs a male figure. Like, I'm just keeping it real with you. Like, the whole entire episode, I was Team Lawrence, to my surprise. I'm never Team Lawrence, but it really begs a bigger question, y'all. If a man is really trying hard to see his kids and be there in his life, in the kid's life, and they try and try and try, and then they give up because the mom is giving a lot of pushback, the mom is causing a lot of drama, and the mom ultimately is bitter and has like resentment towards that person for the relationship not working out. If all that happens after so many chances of the man trying, is it okay for that man to say, you know what, fuck it, like, I'm good, I'm gone? Like, is that okay? I mean, I can understand that the man is even paying child support, but then again, a lot of these men out here don't want to pay child support because, I mean, for one, y'all are keeping them away from the dad. And that's just not how things work. Now, granted, everything is not one-sided. Like, everything is not the woman's fault. I get that. Like, 9 times out of 10, sometimes the guy is straight up a piece of shit deadbeat dad. But I'm talking in context of the men that actually try to be in the kid's life, and yet all you get is pushback because they didn't treat you right, or the relationship didn't turn out the way you wanted to, or like you guys didn't make it down the aisle, and then bam, you're a baby mama, and now you have bitterness and resentment because of that. Is it okay? And I'm asking you all, because for one, I'm not the best. I'm not good with relationships at all. Like, I have next to no like real relationship experience, but I can only observe and call out things what I see. And in that case, if a man is trying his hardest to be there and be present, and all you give him is pushback, is it okay for him to be labeled as a deadbeat? Like, is it okay for him to go off and do his own thing after him really giving chance after chance and trying to be there and trying to uplift you and take up some of the burden off of you? I would really like to know. Like, drop down in the comments and let me know. Like, do you guys have, like, the baby mamas of the world? Let me know, like, how do you guys feel towards other baby mamas that are quote-unquote bitter? Like, I don't like calling women bitter, but, I mean, if the shoe fits, the shoe fits. But how do you baby mamas that are successful at co-parenting feel about baby mamas that make it hard on the man every step of the way because they hurt them in the past? Please let me know. So, because Insecure really just gives out, like, think pieces. And I'm like, you know what, let me go ahead and talk about Insecure. Even though, y'all, I understand we're on the 3rd episode, but Issa, we gonna need to carry this somewhere, because you only do about 8 to 10 episodes per season, and this is the last season, and it needs to go out with a bang, and things need to start ramping up, because so far these episodes are boring as shit. I'm sorry. I love you, Issa. I really do. I love you to pieces, but you. Like, y'all, I can kind of just tell exactly why she decided to end this show. Now, you know, y'all can get down in the comments and call me like, oh, you're so negative, you're a hater, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, I'm just being honest. Like, I could just be honest. Like I said, I love the show. Right now, it's one of the best. Really, it's only the best show right now because we are starred for, like, millennial black trivial tales. Like, we want to see us on television, and that's what Insecure gives us, but at the same time, it's not giving what it needs to give, Issa. I'm just keeping it real, but I love you, boo, and I'll support anything that you do. But those are my views, so be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm going to come at you guys with some more content.